Hi guys. In this discourse, I want to talk about the idea that men are afraid of successful women, or feminists. Men are afraid of feminists, or men are afraid of career women. This seems like a truth on the face value, but when you look at it deeper, men are not afraid of successful women. Men are not afraid of career women, and men are not afraid of feminists. The truth is that because of our culture and our nurturing from generations before we were born, there are certain qualities that have been ascribed to women: care, nurturing, soft presence, homely presence. And there are qualities that have been ascribed to men: being domineering, being decisive, being opinionate, being aggressive, being political. Because these are some of the skills you need for you to be successful in your place of work or in the field out there where you are hustling to make ends meet. But one ugly thing about career women, feminists, and some financially successful women is, as a result of the fact that they desire so much success in the career field, they begin to develop these qualities that have been ascribed to men. So when such a woman is in the presence of a man, maybe her man, her husband, her boyfriend or something, her words, her actions, her perception, and her countenance tells the man the opposite of who she should be as a woman, because she begins to embody those decisiveness, that coarseness, that harsh way of relating that has been ascribed to men. So psychologically, what a man feels is, I am in the presence of a man. And one simple truth about life is that when a man is in the presence of the woman he loves, he loses his guard. He lays down his weapon of warfare and he wants to enjoy her company. But this is something men don't do when they are with their fellow men. Because man to man is physical hustle, physical warfare. When I'm talking of warfare, I'm not talking of like the wars we fought in the past, in the ancient past, or the battlefield of World War I or II. I'm talking about the ways that men interact. Men interact in a very conflictual way. That's why the climax of male happiness is violence. That's why you find out that when men go to parties or when men are celebrating, it can suddenly turn into a violent scene because somebody at the height of his happiness will do something violent. It could be just that he'll bust a bottle or break up something or, just to express violence. That's how men are. So for successful women, when they are with men don't feel that nurturing environment. Rather, men feel stifled. Men feel like they are with their fellow men. And men feel like raising their guards in the presence of this woman. And psychologically, this is tasking for men. So that's why a man can be dating a career woman or a feminist or a very successful woman. And at the point in time, he meets a very humble, loyal, or a lady that is nothing compared to his successful wife. And the man will run into the arms of that lady because that's the lady that gives him that nurturing environment he needs as a man. So I think one of the solutions to this is that if you're a feminist or if your career is successful and you have developed those qualities that are ascribed to men, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to stay away from men. Stay away from those men who have integrity as men. Because those men will not want to fight with you. Men don't like fighting with the women they love. Men like fighting with their fellow men, but not the woman they love. Stay away from such men. You can go date or marry men who accept your superiority. Men who accept that you're the boss, you're the commander-in-chief. But one other thing you have to do is that you have to make sure that that man can stay, because no matter how much you invest in that man's life, no matter what you do for him, you can open 1,000 businesses for him. You can use all your money to open a business for him or to empower him. But the day that man meets a woman that respects him, he is gone. It doesn't matter if the marriage is 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. He will leave. He may not divorce, but you will lose him, because his presence will no longer be felt in your life. He will go into the arms of the woman that makes him feel like a man. Because the supreme joy of a man is that he's able to provide for his woman. And when a man cannot provide for the woman that he loves, that man is never happy. That man is an unhappy man. But it gets worse when that same woman, as a result of her financial success, makes the man feel inferior. That man will never forgive the woman, no matter what she does for him. So I think a key step here is, if you're a career woman, if you're successful, you have so much money, go for men who appreciate you for who you are. Generally, in this modern day life, there are a lot of men who don't really care about who puts the bill or who pays the bills. All they want is to have a comfortable life. Such men, you can have them as husbands, you can have them as boyfriends or something, and your life will be much more easier than going to date a man that believes and knows himself as a man. Then you belittle him. Sometimes this thing is done unconsciously, without the women knowing, because we live in a society where money is a criteria for success, especially amongst ignorant people, and the greater majority of humanity is ignorant. So when a woman achieves or attains a level of success, unconsciously she may begin to act in ways that are detrimental to her marriage or her affair, because she unconsciously begins to make the man feel inferior, or begin to flout the man's decisions or principles or things like that. Okay, so the key here is, if you're a feminist or if you're very successful in your career, try to avoid men who know themselves as men, who have their integrity as men, because you will never have a successful friendship with such men. Go for men that feel your superiority and accept it. Go for them. That is, if you can tolerate such men, because after a while, in most cases, ladies get fed up with such men because they lack that male quality you desire as a woman. They lack that strength of character that makes a man what he is. So men are not afraid of successful women. Men are not afraid of feminists. Men are not afraid of career women. Every man wants a career woman in this modern world. But if you look at it, career women are the most unhappy women, because they don't have relationship. They don't have their relationship going well for them. This is the reason. Men come close but they run away, because the woman is like a needle in their skin. So, but if you're a career woman, you're a feminist, or you're successful financially, and you're able to still accept a man as your head or as your leader, that man will cherish you forever. That man will adore you more than a princess. Build your home, build your marriages, build your friendship, build your life, because this has become very crucial to the sustenance or the growth of humanity as a species. For me, I see this feminist idea as a test for man. A test in the sense that knowledge has grown to a level where we're beginning to see the first fruits of its manifestation. Because knowledge is responsibility, though a lot of people say knowledge is power. But I think knowledge is responsibility. Now we have a responsibility to ourselves, to our society, to humanity, and to posterity. That responsibility is to right the wrong. That wrong has come as a result of knowledge. Today we have known that, yes, the way society has groomed us as men is not very nice, or it's not the best, and there's a need for change. There's a need for adjustment. But that need or that change has to be implemented positively, not aggressively. Because life is full of change, or life is full of changes. Positive change elevates humanity, but negative changes draw us back. So once more, we're faced with a responsibility to build a greater civilization, a better humanity, as a result of the knowledge we have gained. The knowledge of gender misunderstanding. Because for me, the whole idea of feminism is just result of something, one thing: gender misunderstanding. We don't understand ourselves as a gender. That's why I still advocate that for us to solve this problem, the two genders have to come to a round table and discuss and understand each other. Because when we understand each other, we can solve our problem as a team, not as enemies, not as we against them. Because I see a lot of men blaming women, and I see a lot of women blaming men for the cause of the problem. So who's to blame? Men and women are to blame, not one gender. So, if you're a woman and you need your home to be happy, you need your life, you need happiness in your life. Because though some feminists will tell you, I don't need a man, I don't need this, I don't need that, I am okay, I can take care of myself. But those same women are very unhappy. Because the truth is, we have been programmed by society, by culture, by life to desire the opposite sex. And it constitutes a greater part of our longing throughout our life. Acceptance. That's why we start talking about things like soulmates, twin flames, and all that. Because a significant other person from the other gender makes our life whole. So such feminists who believe in the core feminist idea but lack men in their life, somehow at the depth of their mind, they are not so happy. Some of them will give up everything they can to have a man in their life. So we have a responsibility as a species to build life to become better, to understand each other, and to become better. Knowledge is responsibility. The responsibility of building the future lies with us today. And I believe we will not fail, because we cannot fail. If you're a feminist and you're listening to this, I need you to do a rethink. Go into your closet. Think about your life. Think about the way you relate with men. Do you relate with men from a point of superiority? Do you relate with men from a point of I am equal to you? Because one truth is men are not equal to women. Women are not equal to men. We are not equal in any way. Men are strong physically and logically. Women are strong emotionally and emotionally and imaginatively. Men use the left brain more, women use the right brain more. We're meant to complement each other, not to fight each other, not to kill each other, not to strangulate each other. So we're not equals, and we can never be equals. And when a woman says, I am equal to a man, that comes from a more toxic place than a man that says, I am superior to a woman. Why? Because when a woman says she's equal to a man, the first thing she does is she begins to acquire male qualities. Maybe science will help us in that area by making women being able to impregnate women as well. Because what a man can do, a woman can do better. So if a man can produce 100 million sperms in 3 days, a woman should be able to produce 1 billion sperms in 1 day. Since she can do better. So, but I don't think going there is going to help us. Rather, we have to come together to the round table and discuss. Discussing your relationship, discussing your marriage, discussing your friendship, understand each other, and build each other, complement each other's strength. If a man treats you bad, find a way to let him know that what he's doing is detrimental to your well-being. Not to challenge a man as his equal, because you're not his equal. Nobody is equal to each other. Nobody is superior to each other. Do your best and save yourself a ton of stress. Give yourself a good life. Cheers and thanks for listening. Hi guys. In this discourse, I want to talk about the idea that men are afraid of successful women. Or feminists, men are afraid of feminists, or men are afraid of career women. This seems like a truth on the face value, but when you look at it deeper, men are not afraid of successful women. Men are not afraid of career women. And men are not afraid of feminists. The truth is that because of our culture and our nurturing from generations before we were born, there are certain qualities that have been ascribed to women. Care, nurturing, soft presence, homely presence. And there are qualities that have been ascribed to men.